Okay, so we're now talking about dreams. Right, so if we just start with some stuff that's relevant, is there a dream, for example, that any of you guys have had last night, or one that you can remember bring to the table, and we'll work together, not just on decoding it, but how to decode it?
I have one. I've seen it last night.
Okay.
I've made my interpretation.
Oh, you decoded it?
Yes, but it's okay if I share it because it was followed by an event the other day.
Okay, so it was a bit prophetic then.
Yes.
All right.
So the main thing was that I saw my brother, and he was having a very long snake, and the snake around him, but not in a dangerous way, like those men that they are holding the snakes. And the snake was yellow with black dots. And I remember that I was very afraid to go near it. I didn't want to be close to that snake or my brother. And that was a dream. Okay. And the other days, and the afternoon of that day, my brother has a son. She had a fight with my brother, and in a rush, she took the baby from her, and she went to leave, and she walked to leave. And on her way, while he was rushing, he fell down, and while he was holding the baby got FTP.
Hit his head.
Yeah. Yes. And that immediately
You connected it to the dream.
Yes. Because from my perspective, he was holding a snake. The snake can be poisonous.
Yeah. And from the colours you described, it felt like it maybe was poisonous.
Yes. And I was afraid of it, but it wasn't the snake. Maybe it was some dislike towards my brother because he carries many poisonous things.
Right.
And those poisonous things, like anger or hate, led him to fall down.
To trip, right.
Yes.
Yeah, because he wasn't present.
Yes, and he was also holding
the baby,
and because he has many things from his childhood with my mom.
Yeah.
So all connected. I don't know if you can give any.
Well, I think you've just about covered it.
Yeah.
But do you get anything else from that?
In my dreams, snakes means problems. Usually with women, and depending on the color of the woman, you can't even see what woman is it. And usually the snakes are problems, gossip,
yeah.
Heavy gossip, people who are talking really bad about it. And
what else?
Danger.
But what else could it be? I mean, we decoded what this one is, but what else could it be though?
The snake?
Yeah.
It can be kundalini, it can be knowledge, wisdom.
Exactly.
Sacred.
Yeah.
So it depends, it's not...
Exactly.
Symbols don't have a standard definition. No. And it's also about how you feel when you were seeing the
he was scared of the snake.
Yeah,
he didn't want to be near the snake.
Yes.
So it wasn't, because if we look at it from the yellow point, the yellow is prosperity as well, and creativity.
Yeah, but what it is that you need to look at the combination of all of the components together.
Okay.
Yeah. Because yes, if you take the yellow, for example, it could be
hate.
It could be hate, but it can also be wisdom. It could be prosperity, like you said. Yeah. So you've got to put together all the components of the dream to be able to decode it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, I think the most important thing about our dreams is the feeling that comes with the images that you get. So is it something that feels good? Is it something that feels bad? Fear? You know, so what is the emotion and what is the feeling that comes with the image? I think that's probably even more important than the image. Do you know what I mean? The feeling that you get from it. Like, for example, you might see an image that's really beautiful in a dream. Like last night I dreamt that I was in Australia and it was a huge swimming pool, like an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And I was swimming really effortlessly through this pool. All right, I mean, I can swim, I can dive, I'm not afraid of the deep or anything, but I'm not the world's best swimmer. Do you know what I mean? But in this dream, it was like, it was precision, it was effortless. And I was saying to myself, oh my gosh, there's so many laps to do, I was thinking, up and down this pool that was enormous, right? And yet I was getting to the other side so quick. And I was doing that professional flip that swimmers do and pushing with my feet off the edge and going back. And I was like, holy shit, I'm swimming like a fish. What's going on? I'm like the man from Atlantis. It was a film about this guy in the 80s. Anyway, so, and it was really effortless. And I must have done about 10 laps. In real life, I mean, enough. I can't be bothered. So it's the feeling. Do you know what I mean? And the feeling in this dream was a feeling of, first of all, I was like, I was in the pool. But when I got going, and it was just weird. I found it weird that it was in Australia. That's the bit. I never sat and decoded it afterwards, but that was the weird part about it. You know, Chris has spent many years there, and we're going there at Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
But
I think that you will have many upgrades in Australia at Christmas time.
Probably, yeah, probably will.
Because it was a lot of rounds, but it was effortlessly.
Yeah.
And you are going to Australia.
And don't forget time in our earth start from there.
What?
Australia, which is where time starts, is to come from Australia and then goes.
Oh right, yeah. In regards to time, but I think it actually begins from New Zealand, doesn't it?
Yes,
Because they're a few hours ahead. Yeah,
there, no?
it's just up the road. A few hours. Okay, so this is just for you to understand how to go about decoding your dreams. You cannot be literal.
No.
Be careful, because we know literal information about colours, we know literal information about some symbols, but you need to bring together all of the elements to be able to decode your dream more effectively. And also, if you've done it correctly, you'll know it. You'll go, yeah, that's it. Dudo neni and dudo. You know, you'll just know. Do you know what I mean? So, is there any other dreams to bring to the table? I've brought mine.
I want to bring
Anna?
some.
No? Okay.
Listen, last night I
Yeah.
have my twins. I think you meet one of them or two. I don't remember. Okay, my twins.
In England, yeah.
Quite attractive, especially when they met up and they go out. They're very attractive girls. They're naive.
Your daughters?
Yeah. I dreamed last night that my daughter, one of my daughters, the one that I call La Gorda, means the fatty one. She's very skinny, but she likes to be called La Gorda. So,
That's cute.
La Gorda, she was in this place like a lounge or like, you know, where people go to drink, like, you know, nightclub.
Like a bar or something.
Yeah, it was more like a lounge because it was canapes big like this, a red canapé there, and different things. In a room like this around, and this man, this fat, ugly, disgusting man was trying to
touch her?
Yeah, to blah blah, to, you know how creepy sometimes men get. And I told my daughter, be careful with that guy, he's no good. And then I think I went to the toilet or something in the dream. No, sorry. It was me, I wake up. I went to the toilet, come back, went back to sleep, and again this man
continued. The dream continued.
The dream continued. I say, wow, I have to call today my daughter and tell her. And now as we're talking just now, I receive a missed call. I hope it's not her because she's the only one who called me from private number, but I cannot answer now. And I received that I have to tell my daughter to be careful. That's all I need. I received now. I don't know.
So So what do you think? So is that hers, or is it prophetic? Which way round is it?
I think it's a message for her daughter.
Okay.
I'm getting that it's a negative temptation that it's around her daughter.
Okay. Do you think there's also a possibility it's also her concern as a mum? Or do you think it's just purely a message?
I think it involves her daughter too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that means that it would be a good idea to give her that message, you know,
sure.
just watch yourself sort of thing. So that would be the message, yeah?
And the guy was really greasy and disgusting.
It doesn't mean that the temptation is a guy.
No, it just means daddy, something.
Temptation of any form, but the negative one.
Yeah.
The funny part is to wake up, go to pee-pee, come back to bed, and continue the dream.
Yeah.
And then when the men come back, I say, you know, and then I change my attitude. I was being very nice in the place as well, very nice. When the guy come back, I just say to him, you know, fuck off, get out of here. You have to go now. It's a dream, but you have to go. I knew I was in a dream, but I knew I have to tell this man to go.
Right.
He was intense, he was negative. I wanted him to go because he was around my daughter.
So do you guys tend to have dreams that you would say are like prophetic, that things that might happen in the future? Or do you dream about other times and places? Or
also,
you know, what kind of dreams do you dream? Like personally, I had a dream a couple of days ago that wasn't very nice at all. And I would say that it's something that is either happening or it's a bit prophetic, whereby some people that I know quite well, I was in England. I wasn't in my home in Cyprus. I was in my England family home. And these people, they were in my house. They didn't break in, but they were in my house in the dream. And they were looking around in private areas, like the bedroom, you know, your private quarters, and they were looking for things. I didn't like it at all. So for me, that translated as some kind of intrusion, a violation, but it felt more like of an intuitive nature, not like in the real. Do you know what I mean? You know, it felt like that. And I woke up and I didn't feel good at all. And because I felt very, not disturbed, but I felt very uncomfortable, and it was on my mind the whole day, for me, it's the feelings afterwards that were lingering for the rest of the day that were telling me personally that this is a validation that what you are dreaming is in fact happening. And the thing is, I had a gut feeling about this happening a long time ago, and so it's like the dream validated what I was thinking about a long time ago. Yeah? So it's interesting how that can happen with dreams sometimes.
You know, I wanted to, it passed my mind, but I would say this as I got it, but do you feel that there are people who are trying to steal Fusion 7?
Oh, that's always happened from the beginning. I'm aware of that. And it's natural. It's natural for that to happen. And in the beginning days, it bothered me, like at the beginning of my...
You should be proud.
Right.
Like me with salsa.
That's what Chris said to me. Goes, you know, if exactly like your salsa, right? She brought it to Cyprus. Alexandra brought salsa to Cyprus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I spread
salsa.
And I spread all over, and then everybody start doing this. Let's say you were my best students, I make you masters, and then we say let's do the Congress together, and then you stick me, you went without do it, and leave me out.
It's gonna happen.
And it doesn't matter.
It's gonna happen.
What is important is that salsa exists and is everywhere.
Right.
Like, Macari had to steal 100 times Fusion 7 and everybody to do it.
Yeah. And that's, you know what Chris is like? Chris makes out like he's not involved and blah, blah, blah. And in the, you know what it's like, right? So in the early days, it was the early days, and I found out that something like that was happening, and it really upset me. I got so hurt, you know. He goes to me, what are you worried about? He goes to me, be proud. He goes, it's unique, it's yours, and someone did that because it shows how good it is.
Exactly.
You know? So I had to see it from the positive side. Do you know what I mean? But before, I was just worried about my hurt about it and my ego about it. Right, you know. And it's natural to feel that way. But if you're going to get over it, because look, guys, I mean, if you wanted to, you could get into lawsuits and all of this shit. But I mean, do you really need that kind of a headache in your life? You know, some countries are a little bit more anal about this sort of stuff, but, you know, I don't know if it's me or the way I grew up, but unless it's like a really severe sort of violation, you have to weigh up the pros and the cons of everything. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think that was so much about that. Connected to it, but not quite that. Yeah, but there is a connection, yeah, definitely. So, yeah. So follow your hunches. My dreams are always really, okay, some of them are really crazy. But a lot of the time mine are usually very prophetic. And I do not, you know, when I feel a dream, when it's strong and it's clear and I've got what it means, I never put it to the side and say, oh, it's just a dream. I take it very seriously. Because usually it's spot on. That's the way it works out. And it has done. I can give you a million examples. I'm not going to get into it. But, you know, I just wanted to know where you are at with your dreams and how it is that you perceive them. Do you know what I mean? And it will also help you with your clients when you are facilitating, you know, your fusion sessions, whatever, because they will ask you, I had this dream last night. What does it mean? They will ask you. So you can just say, okay, just give me a moment, let me connect and tune into that and find out what it's all about for you. So that's why we're having this workshop about dreams today.
But usually my dreams are about, they're connected with things that I've done before or people that I've talked to. I don't
How random.
Καταλαβαίνω υπόψη τώρα τα όνειρα, αλλά καταλαβαίνεις ποιον όνειρο να λάβεις υπόψη, διότι είναι παραπάνω συμβολικό, πιο δυνατόν.
Yeah.
And then...
Exactly, because a lot of dreams are about our psyche and we're just processing stuff through the day. People we've seen, stuff we've done, you know, like, you know the ones to take notice of because you can feel them really deep or they're really lucid, they're very strong, yeah? So it's important, and if you don't know what a dream means, if somebody asks you in a session and they ask you about their dream, if you don't know, yeah, but say you still don't know, what do you say to your client or the person that's receiving from you?
Στείλτε μου το σε μήνυμα να το αποκωδικοποιήσω στην ησυχία μου και να σας πω.
Lovely. Right? So leave it with me. I'll look at it in my own time and I'll decode it for you. That's what you do.
And then you ask.
And then you ask. So, yeah. Or you may not need to. It depends how you connect to it. Do you know what I mean? I would say always connect to source. You could ask source, or you could actually connect to the dream itself. And say to the dream, show me what you mean. That's the way I do it. Yeah, I will connect to the actual dream and I will say, what do you mean by this? What is the message in this? You know me, I always ask questions about everything. Everything, all the time. Everything is a question. Everything is a question because it's from the question that we will get the correct answer. And every time I ask questions, people will say to me, how did you get that? Because inside of me, I've asked. It's the question. It's just a really powerful tool. The question is very powerful for anything. You know, as long as you make your primary source connection and you engage in your intuition, The question is a very powerful tool. And you can direct that question in any direction you like. Primary source, or perhaps to the object or subject in question, providing it's not what? If it's yeah, so if it's an entity,
no.
If it's like dark forces, you never connect directly to that. Okay?
Θέλω να ρωτήσω, εάν βλέπουμε όνειρα, ας πούμε έτσι, εφιάλτες.
Yeah, nightmares.
Nightmares. There is probably something to investigate more.
Yeah, especially if there's a pattern of it.
So, it's something foreign is in our field doing something.
Yeah. Could be something foreign in your field, but it could be a myriad of stuff, because even when things are really great in my life, I could say to you that the majority of dreams that I have are dark. They're not light, they're dark. It's always something's going on that's not very nice, always. And so when I investigated to find out why is this, because I've done lots of techniques so that, you know, they're clear and that, you know, I don't dream in this way, and it works temporarily, but still I could say, if I was to put it into percentages, that the majority of my dreams are more unpleasant than pleasant. It's not all la-di-da and beautiful and lovely and whatever. And so when I investigated on that, the answer that I received is because I'm quite an old soul, so I've experienced a lot of stuff through. So I'm processing old stuff in that way. So for me, my dreams, even before I developed intuitively, when I was a small child, my dreams were always power. That's how I knew that I was intuitive, even before I knew I was intuitive. So that's why I say my dreams are very valuable. I get all of that stuff that you get, where you're just processing, you know, the day-to-day rubbish and everything. But a lot of them are very powerful. Most of them are unpleasant for the most part. And up until about maybe 2000, the period when I was teaching a lot, I was having a lot of nightmares during that time, when I was doing a lot of condensed classes. So I guess, even though I was doing like my clearings and everything else, perhaps there could have been times where there was some energy that was lingering, you know, and perhaps I might have been absorbing a few bits and pieces, you know. So yeah, during that time, some of the dreams were negative, nightmare negative. Past lives, past connections. Yeah, past connections. And whenever I'd finish a class, Chris would say to me, have you cleaned the energy good in the room? And I'd say, yes. And he goes, yeah, but when you were cleaning, he goes, that door was open. So, stuff could pass into that, but it does. It does, you know. People think that it's because it's energy that they don't take it so seriously. It doesn't matter.
It matters a lot.
Oh, fuck yeah. It matters. Yeah, it matters.
Helen, I want to tell you something. When because we are in this time, they put in a lot of things that we are surrounded by. So
Aliens,
the reptilians are here.
They are here.
Yes, I know, but that they took him out, that there is no hope for humanity. We are all.
That's rubbish.
I know, and so on. And I just want, because I've been visited by those.
Yeah, a lot of us have.
And I want to know if there is anything I can do, or let me phrase better this question. Is there anything in our power, as a human beings, that we, in case we confront them, that is our tool to win against them? What is that they want? What is that we have that is more powerful than them? because they're more powerful in technology and this. But if they want us, that is love, yes?
So you're saying that the...
how can we, let's say, protect humanity or ourselves from
Right,
this
okay.
force?
So first of all, you're saying that the alien visitations that you have had are negative. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they visit mostly in dreams.
In dreams, but are they negative?
Well, they tried to get me once or twice, but I never went.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was crazy, but now I know it's not crazy.
Right.
Because this happened when I was young, and it happens again and again. But what I'm saying now, in this particular moment in time that we are in the face of the earth, we are facing this awakening of people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like the worst kind of energies are out there. Also the good, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, we gotta win. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so what is that we? What is our power is what I want to know.
Number one, first of all, is that these visitations that you are having through your dreams, okay, with, alien forces, whatever, number one means that you have some kind of another time and place connection with them.
Segura.
That needs to be addressed and transformed and healed, number one, yeah? Number two is stop the battle. It is not you against them, okay? Let go of the battle. There is no battle. The fear is coming from your experience of other times and places that you need to address. So once you have addressed the experience that you had with these beings in other times and places, then it means you will be addressing the fear too. When you've addressed the fear, there's nothing to battle. It's done. Cada la vez. It's done. Because it then means a couple of things. Either the visitations are going to stop, yeah, or there will be visitations and the nature of the visitation will change, or they will come and there will be no fear. So then they won't keep coming for you. But it's something from another time and place that you need to address that's causing it. But you also need to let go of the notion that you are doing battle against negative forces. Okay? It's only because you have a connection to it that needs to be healed. Once it's healed, then there's no battle to be done.
Yes, this come back very much lately because I'm looking at these programs that put in the Facebook, and YouTube, and they